In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 MLB games happening on July 20th, 2023, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games. So 2 picks for each game, 6 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 MLB games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start: if you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Chicago White Sox versus New York Mets. The Chicago White Sox and New York Mets will wrap up their 3-game series on Thursday in Queens. The White Sox are in 4th place in the American League Central Division and appear to be looking at another lost season. The Mets, meanwhile, have been one of the bigger disappointments in the National League East and have a long way to go to get back in the playoff race. The Chicago White Sox have already lost this series to the Mets, but it's imperative that they salvage something from this series and avoid the sweep after their 5-1 loss to the Mets in Wednesday's matchup, dropping the White Sox to 40-57 on the year and 19-32 on the road. In the month of July, Chicago's offense ranks 25th in team ops and 29th in isolated power, while the White Sox starting rotation sits 24th in staff earned run average, and the bullpen owns a 5.29 earned run average, sliding them into 22nd in that stat. Luis Robert Jr. leads the White Sox with 99 hits, 28 home runs, and 57 RBIs, while Andrew Benintendi has a team-best .292 batting average. Andrew Vaughn also has 54 RBIs for Chicago this season. Michael Kopech will get the start for the White Sox on the mound here, and he is 3-8 with a 4.47 earned run average and 97 strikeouts this season. The New York Mets snagged a nice series win, but a sweep would go a long way in making up ground in the National League wild card race, as the Mets sit at 45-50 and 23-21 at home, putting the Mets 7 games back of the final wild card spot in the National League. The Mets offense ranks 12th in team OPS and 5th in isolated power, while the starting rotation for New York has the 2nd best staff earned run average in July at 3, and the bullpen's 4.25 earned run average ranks 13th in baseball in the month so far. Pete Alonso leads the Mets with 26 home runs and 62 RBIs, while Brandon Nimmo has a team-high 94 hits and a .260 batting average. Jose Quintana will make his 2023 debut here for the Mets after going 6-7 with a 2.93 earned run average in 32 starts split between the Pirates and Cardinals last season. I just don't know what I'm going to see from Quintana in his return to the rotation, and if nothing else, I still have some hope that the White Sox can return to what they've been in the past, and that's a team that hits the ball very well against left-handed pitching. I think Chicago knows they can ill afford to dig their hole any deeper, and I think they salvage something from this series. I'm not excited about this game, but I have to lean towards the White Sox here, so the Chicago White Sox money line is our full game side pick. The 2 teams combined for 21 runs in the opener on Tuesday night. In the finale, the White Sox will send Kopech to the hill, and he is sporting an earned run average over 9 in his last 3 starts. He has also failed to get through the 5th inning in any of his last 4 starts. Mets starter Quintana will likely be on a pitch count as well, and will have to turn this game over to the bullpen by the 6th inning at the latest. The White Sox have gone over the total in 4 of their last 5 games. The Mets have flash power both at home and during the day, hitting 52 home runs in 38 day games this year and 58 home runs in 43 home dates. I expect another high run total in this matchup on Thursday afternoon. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. Detroit Tigers versus Kansas City Royals. A pair of American League Central rivals finish up an early week series on the diamond in the Midwest. The Detroit Tigers are on the road as they close out a 4-game series with the Kansas City Royals Thursday afternoon. Detroit is 5-1 in their last 6 Thursday games and 1-4 in Lorenzen's last 5 starts with 4 days of rest. The over is 4-0-1 in Lorenzen's last 5 starts with 4 days of rest, and the over is 5-1 in Detroit's last 6 game 4s of a series. The under is 4-1 in Kansas City's last 5 games against a right-handed starting pitcher. Both teams have struggled this season at times, though the Tigers are much closer to the top of the American League Central than the Royals are. Lorenzen had a rough patch heading toward the All-Star break, but he's recorded back-to-back starts without allowing any runs. The Tigers have won his last 2 starts and look to build on that momentum here. year. Meanwhile, the Royals have struggled to find capable pitching most of the year, and with Greinke coming off the injury list after shoulder tendonitis, one has to wonder how much he can give the team. Detroit has been better offensively of late, and with the way Lorenzen has pitched, you have to give the Tigers the advantage here on getaway day. As I've said all year, the Kansas City Royals are just not a team I'm eager to get behind. The Royals are the worst team for bettors this season, as a $100 better is down $2,500 on the season. It's just not profitable to get behind the Royals, even in the underdog role. Also, the Detroit Tigers are only 5.5 games back in their division, so series like this against terrible teams are key to make ground and make August interesting. This cheap price with the Tigers has to be the play, so the Detroit Tigers money line is our full game side pick. Detroit has seen the over post a 50 to 43-3 mark in their first 94 games of the year entering Wednesday. The Tigers are 28th in runs per game, and that remains flat at 3.94 runs per game on the road. Detroit has an average total of 8.74 runs per game, a number that falls to 8.51 runs per game on the road this season. Kansas City entered Wednesday having seen the under post a 51 to 44-1 mark in their 96 games on the season. The Royals are 29th in the majors in runs per game as they put up an average of 3.76 runs a night this season. That number climbs to a 4.22 run per game average at home on the year. Kansas City has seen an average total of 9.17 runs per game this season, a number that edges up to 9.85 runs per game at home this season. We saw 5 runs in the opener followed by 21 runs in the second game of the series. It's safe to say we shouldn't see that kind of production here. Lorenzen keeps the Royals in check, and this game falls just under the number. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. Minnesota Twins versus Seattle Mariners. The Minnesota Twins concluded its 3-game series against the Seattle Mariners on Thursday. Minnesota swept the Oakland Athletics in their first series after the All-Star break, while Seattle lost 2 of 3 to the Detroit Tigers. Minnesota is 49-47 against the money line this year, and Seattle is 27-12 against the money line in July games over the last 2 seasons. Seattle is 34-35 against the money line versus right-handed starters this season. Seattle and Minnesota have both disappointed this season, but in the final game of this series, I do like the Mariners to get the win at home. This should be a great game between 2 solid pitchers who struggled last time out, so I do expect both to rebound nicely. Both lineups haven't faced either pitcher much, which does give the advantage to both Kirby and Lopez. However, Kirby is the better pitcher, which is why I give a slight edge to the Mariners in this game. Meanwhile, as a home favorite this season, Seattle is 24-19, while Minnesota is 11-16 as a road underdog. So the Seattle Mariners money line is our full game side pick. The over 26-21-2 in Seattle's home games this season is my bet on the total at 7.5 runs scored. The Twins are hitting .259, .339, .458, and .797 in July, scoring 5 runs per contest. Like the Mariners, this has been their best month at the dish this year. I'm confident this line is set too low, as it suggests both starting pitchers will rebound from poor outings in their first start following the All-Star break. Both Lopez and Kirby pitched in the ASG and displayed fatigue that could carry over into Thursday's game. 7 runs seem too low for this game, especially with the way Lopez and Kirby both pitched last time out. Although if Lopez and Kirby are on their game, this will go way under. I think this game should have been lined at 7.5 or 8. This season, Minnesota is 44-48-4 in hitting the over, but Seattle is 47-45-2. Meanwhile, Lopez is allowing 3.2 runs over his last 5 starts, while Kirby is allowing 3 runs per start over his last 5. I'm betting on at least one of these pitchers to be off their game, showing signs of weakness that these hot lineups will exploit. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.